Before we see the steps, there are three important points which we must remember before we go over the steps. First point is there's no specific hard and fast rule for approaching these system design interviews, and it totally depends upon the interviewer. Some interviewer might just want you to do database design, while other interviewer might want you to go in depth and do an API design also along with database design. So it totally depends upon the interviewer who's taking your interview. There could be different solutions to the same problem, and this is what makes this type of interviews very tough. And you don't know the solution that you have given might be the one that the interviewer is looking for. There can be different type of questions. So for example, in some cases you might be asked to design an entire system. However, some other questions might be feature specific. So for example, design an auto suggest feature, which is just feature specific. Let's now go into a general approach for handling these system design interviews. We'll go into the step 1 for this template. So in step 1, the foremost and most important piece is you need to read and understand the problem. So when the interviewer has given you a problem, it's your task to understand the problem very well. So for example, if the interviewer has given you a question like design a ticket booking system, so as you can see over here, what comes to your mind when you see a question like that? The most important thing is booking system, right? So it is a system which is giving you a functionality to book the tickets online, right? So there has to be a database that stores the tickets and a mechanism for booking the tickets. So you can buy the tickets online, book them online, maybe hold them up for some period of time, and put them in some kind of waiting list before you actually go and buy them, things like that. There could be other question like design an online restaurant reservation system and host it on the cloud. Now there are two important pieces in this. First of all, it is a reservation system, and secondly, it is hosted on the cloud. So in this case, the interviewer is asking you to design a reservation system and make sure that you can put it on some kind of private or public cloud. So you need to ask these questions from the interviewer. What kind of cloud you are looking for? Is it like a private cloud, a public cloud? And is it okay if I use maybe some sort of API design and host my microservices on Docker container and then ship that Docker container on Kubernetes on the cloud, things like that. And in terms of restaurant reservation system, you can have the reservation system entirely built on top of some sort of database, maybe a relational MySQL database initially, or it could be a NoSQL database, and you need to ask questions like, is it for one particular restaurant, or is it like the system gives you an opportunity for any restaurant that registers through the system can continue using this thing? It's something like a SaaS product, right? So a restaurant comes on boards and then they start using this system going forward. So you need to ask these questions to the interviewer when he is giving you these set of problems.